For more than a decade, one face became inseparable from a single phrase: aliens. Wild hair, animated hands, and a voice full of conviction turned this man into one of the internet's most recognizable memes. You have seen his face 1,000 times. Wild hair going in every direction, hands flying through the air, eyes wide open like a man who has just discovered the secret of the universe and cannot believe nobody else can see it yet. For over a decade, one question has followed this man everywhere he goes. What really happened to the ancient aliens guy? Is the show still running? Is he still out there? And who is the real person hiding behind the most famous meme on the entire internet? Today we are going to answer every single one of those questions. And we promise you this: the real story of what happened to Giorgio Tsoukalos is far more surprising than anything you would ever expect. Let us start right at the beginning, because where this man came from is the first thing that will shock you. Giorgio A. Tsoukalos was born on March 14, 1978, in a city called Lucerne in Switzerland. His father was Greek. His mother was Austrian. He grew up between two different languages and two different ways of seeing the world. And from a very young age, he became obsessed with one question that most people never think to ask. What if the official version of ancient history is missing something huge? That question never left him. It followed him everywhere he went, and eventually it changed his entire life. The man the entire internet now knows as the Ancient Aliens guy spent years organizing muscle competitions. Stop and think about that for 1 second. There is no career path on Earth that looks less like a straight line to becoming the face of ancient astronaut theory on the History Channel. And yet that is exactly what happened. But while the bodybuilding career was running in one direction, something far more important was quietly running alongside it. From 1999 to 2008, Tsoukalos was also editing a magazine called Legendary Times. It was entirely dedicated to ancient astronaut research and connected to the work of a Swiss author named Erich von Däniken, the man who had written a famous book called Chariots of the Gods decades earlier. That book had asked a simple but explosive question: what if ancient humans had help from beings that came from somewhere else? Through his work on that magazine, Tsoukalos eventually became the director of the Archaeology, Astronautics and SETI Research Association, the organization built entirely around those theories. So here is what was really happening during those years. On the surface, he was booking bodybuilding venues and managing athlete schedules. But underneath all of that, he was quietly building a deep foundation in ancient astronaut research, learning everything he possibly could about the theories that would eventually make him famous around the entire world. Two completely different lives running at the same time. And then one day, the History Channel came calling, and everything changed at once. When Ancient Aliens first premiered on the History Channel, it was built around one central and very bold idea. Extraterrestrial beings visited Earth thousands of years ago. They influenced the way ancient civilizations built things like the pyramids and the Nazca lines and the mysterious ruins of Pumapunku in Bolivia. And the evidence, the show argued, was hiding in plain sight all over the ancient world. Tsoukalos stepped in front of the camera and immediately became the face of the entire show. Season after season, he traveled to ancient sites all over the world and argued with total and absolute confidence that what ancient humans built was simply too advanced to have been created by people working alone. He never sounded uncertain. He never quietly suggested something might be possible. He delivered every single theory like a man who had already solved the mystery and was simply waiting for the rest of the world to catch up. That kind of energy cannot be faked. And audiences felt it immediately. Some believed every word. Some thought the whole thing was ridiculous. But almost nobody could stop watching. By 2016, he had become so central to the show that he was made a co-executive producer. That meant he was no longer just appearing on camera. He was now helping to decide which topics future seasons would cover, which ancient sites the crew would travel to, and how the entire direction of the franchise would develop going forward. A man who spent years booking bodybuilding shows was now making creative decisions on one of the longest-running franchises in cable television history. He also launched a spin-off series in 2014 called In Search of Aliens on H2, covering topics like the search for Atlantis and theories about Nazi time travelers. Critics were not very kind to it. One reviewer wrote that it lacked any clear direction and failed to deliver even the basic consistency of other paranormal shows. It ended after one season. Tsoukalos walked straight back onto Ancient Aliens and carried on like nothing had happened at all. Now here is the part of the story that answers the biggest question of all. What really happened to him? When did things change? And the answer is November 2010, because that is when a single screenshot changed everything. A still image from one of his Ancient Aliens appearances began spreading across the internet. It hit 4chan first, then it spread to other platforms. Then it exploded. The image showed him in the middle of speaking. Hair going in 6 different directions at once, hands raised, eyes wide, looking exactly like a man about to deliver the most important news in the history of the human race. Someone put the words, "I'm not saying it was aliens," but across the bottom of that image and released it into the world. What happened next has genuinely never fully stopped. The reason that meme worked so perfectly, and why it is still being used more than 15 years later, is not because it was mean. It worked because it was instantly recognizable to everyone who saw it. That face, that expression, that total absolute certainty delivered at full volume, it captured something every single person has experienced at some point in their life. The feeling of watching someone explain a completely wild idea with such complete confidence that for just 1 second, you almost wonder if they might actually be right. People used that image for everything. Lost keys, strange sounds in the night, unexplained things on a bank statement. The format worked everywhere because the feeling it captured exists everywhere. According to dictionary.com, the meme worked because it perfectly copied the exact way Tsoukalos delivered far-fetched ideas as though they were already proven facts. That description is exactly right. And it explains why the meme has lasted so much longer than almost anything else from that same era of internet culture. Here is what makes his response to all of this so interesting. Most people who become internet memes either ignore it completely or try to distance themselves from it as fast as possible. Tsoukalos did the exact opposite. In a Reddit AMA in 2015, he said openly that he loved the meme. He called it a genuine honor. He said he was grateful that so many people had embraced it. Instead of running away from the joke, he walked straight toward it and made it the most recognizable part of who he was. That single decision turned what could have been an embarrassing chapter into something that kept his name alive across every corner of the internet for over a decade now. Here is the part of the story that deserves to be told honestly, even if it is uncomfortable. Ancient Aliens has been criticized seriously by scientists, archaeologists, and historians since the very first episode aired, and that criticism has never gone away. The main argument from scholars is straightforward. The show assumes that ancient people were not smart or resourceful enough to build incredible things on their own. Archaeologist Kenneth Feder, who has spent decades studying ancient societies, said in 2018 that accepting the ideas on Ancient Aliens requires people to ignore research that already clearly explains how ancient construction actually worked. The criticism gets even more serious than that. The Southern Poverty Law Center criticized the Ancient Aliens franchise specifically for what it called racist pseudo-scholarship. The pattern they identified is consistent. When civilizations from Egypt, South America, or Central America built something extraordinary, the show reaches for an alien explanation. When European civilizations built something just as extraordinary, that same explanation almost never appears. Critics say that pattern sends a troubling message about which ancient cultures the show believes were capable of greatness on their own. Tsoukalos himself has never held any academic credentials in archaeology or history. His degree is in communications. Critics have argued for years that the professional look and feel of the show creates a false impression that the people on it hold scientific credentials that they simply do not have. None of any of that criticism has ever stopped him. Not for one season, not for one episode. So where is he right now? That is the second half of the question this video promised to answer. And the answer is simpler than most people expect. He is still here. Ancient Aliens reached its 22nd season in 2026, with fresh episodes airing on the History Channel as recently as early this year. That makes it one of the longest-running documentary-style shows in the entire history of cable television. There were some scheduling problems in early 2026 when the History Channel briefly pulled some planned new episodes and replaced them with reruns. But new content kept coming. The show did not end. It kept going. On a personal level, his life away from the cameras has stayed very quiet. He married a glass artist and jewelry designer named Crix Biebel on March 10, 2013. She runs her own creative studio called Crix Biebel Creations, making unique pieces from glass, metal, and leather. The two of them live in Los Angeles. There have been no scandals, no public arguments, no dramatic headlines. Just a quiet, private life running alongside one of the most publicly recognizable careers in fringe television. Beyond the main show, he has appeared on The Joe Rogan Experience, on Coast to Coast AM, across dozens of podcasts, and at fan conventions all over the country. His estimated net worth sits at around $4 million according to Celebrity Net Worth, built up steadily across almost 2 decades of television work and public appearances. For someone who built an entire career in a space that most of the entertainment industry never took seriously, that is a genuinely impressive result. So what really happened to the Ancient Aliens guy? Here is the honest answer. Nothing ended. That is the part that surprises people the most. The show is still running. He is still traveling to ancient sites. He is still standing in front of cameras with his hands in the air and his hair going everywhere, delivering every theory with the same total and complete confidence he had on day one. The meme is still being shared. The audience is still watching. And the man who started all of this, a bodybuilding promoter from Switzerland with a communications degree and a burning curiosity about ancient history, is still standing right at the center of all of it, exactly where he has always been. Whether you believe what he says or think the whole thing is entertaining nonsense, one thing is impossible to argue with. Almost nobody saw any of this coming, and almost nobody has lasted this long while staying this recognizable. So now we want to hear from you. After everything you just heard today, do you think Giorgio Tsoukalos is a genuine believer who is simply ahead of his time? Or do you think he is the most unexpectedly successful television personality that fringe media has ever accidentally created? Tell us your honest answer in the comments right now. And if this story surprised you at all, make sure you subscribe because there are plenty more stories exactly like this one on the way.